Greetings, blessed love, welcome to Nestlin, Wagwan. Welcome to episode 9 of I and I A Reason with me, Sinai Fleury. And as always, I'm joined in the studio by my wonderful co-host, Mr. Asher Heights.
Cupful, blazing. Greetings, family. Yeah, I and I A Reason here once more. Give thanks to life. Give thanks.
Yeah, so we're on episode 9. Climb, we are climb.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's got in touch with us over the last few weeks about our podcast. People who've been sharing it. We've been keeping an eye on people who've been listening to us, and I can say the thing has now gone global.
Sure.
Big up everybody, no matter where you are in this world. I'm going to shout out some countries maybe a bit later on of people who've been tuning into I and I A Reason. Like I said, episode 9, Climb We Are Climb.
Forward.
Yeah, and the reason I'm saying that is because we've got a huge announcement to make.
See.
Yeah, so I'm me and Asher, I and I A Reason podcast. We're so happy to announce that our podcast has been picked up by the award-winning Colourful Radio, and we will now be on Colourful Radio. We've got DLs coming really, really soon, but we're really, really excited about this new growth and this new phase of the podcast. So big thanks to Colourful Radio for putting us on, and all our supporters. So yeah, please stay tuned. If you want more information about our announcement and I and I Reason joining Colourful Radio, please go to colourfulradio.com and just search for us and you'll find us there. But also on all our social media platforms, we've put up the official press release, so you can read all about this new and exciting journey of I and I Reason on the award-winning Colourful Radio.
Aye.
Yeah, so that's out of the way. Asha, so what's been going on? How have you been?
I and I have been giving thanks. I don't know. Go and do my thing, music in the studios, making new music for the fans them. You know, staying fit, working out.
Yeah, so you've been busy. So what, new music soon forward, yeah?
Yeah, man, new music soon forward. In the studio, people, you don't know, go cooking up, you know?
Yeah, exciting stuff. So is that going to be an EP or an album, or you're not sure yet?
Well, the thought is an album at the moment, you know?
Okay.
It might change, you don't know, music stay. But yeah, it's an album we are right now.
So we can't wait. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, man.
So, episode 9, Climb We Are Climb, I and I A Reason. But before we get started, let me just read out all our social media and contact information. If you want to reach the podcast, you can find us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So just search I and I, so that's INI, AH Reason, REASON podcast, and you'll be able to find us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. If you want to send us any topic feedback or any questions, please send it to ianiareason@gmail.com, and don't forget to use the hashtag INIPodcast on all social medias for us to find your comments.
Yes, sir.
And also, we've got a phone line.
Sure.
Yeah, so our phone line is, if you want to get in touch with us, if you want to send us any feedback, any voice notes, no chain letters, people.
WhatsApp only, people. WhatsApp
only. The number is +44 7576 677 477.
Yes, sir.
All right, moving quickly and swiftly on. The topics for this episode, we're going to be discussing Black History Month, because it's Black History Month here in the UK.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of calls for people. Well, there's been a lot of calls from people, should I say, calling for Black History Month to be stopped, saying we don't need it, saying it's not inclusive, saying it's racist, and all the rest of that. So we're going to get into that.
Yes.
Also, we want to talk about reggae artists giving back, doing charitable works in their native countries, and how important is it, and do they have a duty to give back once they've made it and they've become rich and famous? I mean, do they have a duty to give back? Also, we're going to be reviewing that film that we watched together on Netflix called Nappily Ever After, starring the beautiful Sana Lathan and Nim Whitfield. We're going to break that down. Plus, we've got loads of other reggae music news, including the countdown clock for Buju Banton.
Yes, I
Buju
got
returns. And we've also got some news about Romain Virgo. So we will be going through all of that later on. But Asha, let's get started on Black History Month.
One.
Happy Black History Month before we even get started.
Happy Black History Month today to see
Yeah, so there's been calls in the UK for it to be stopped. People saying Black History Month, the idea that we have a whole month for ourselves and it doesn't include anybody else is racist, and it's not inclusive, and it should be called things like Diversity Month or Culture Bites and all these other names. I do believe some councils in London have already rebranded it and renamed it Diversity Month, which has angered a lot of people in the African and Caribbean community.
Rightfully so.
And also people who are not in the African and Caribbean community.
Rightfully so.
So I wanted to know, what do you think about it? Do you think we need a Black History Month?
First and foremost, what I will say about the whole thing is, we have to remember that there's 12 months in the Western calendar.
Right.
See, and out of 12, they've given INI 1. Now 1 minus from 12 leave 11. See?
Maths class, people, pay attention. Go on.
That leave 11. So you want to tell me, say, out of every race, and like, say, boy, namely, the most race where we kind of know, like, everyone know these races, like the Asian race, the African race, the European race, and you know what I mean, you can break down the Chinese and the Japanese differently if you want to, Pakistan and Indian differently if you want to. But may I say, out of all of that, divided by 12 and a 1 I get, and yet still them want to take away the 1 I get. So that shows say people say, them people don't want to see with nothing at all. Not even a 29 or 31 or 30 days, them don't want to give. Out of the whole 365. You see me I say? So that show you what kind of people you are dealing with and who you're there amongst, you know, so you have to be careful and be wise. You see me I deal with? You know, I need to reflect on ancient history and glorious history, so youth can be proud and look forward and know say what you was you can now be in this day and age same way, you see me? Because you have it within you. It's in your genes, it's in your DNA, it's in your blood, it's in your spirit. All these ancient great African kings and queens, it's in the eye and the eye and the eye. And you need to see it with your eyes and read it, you know what I mean, and hear the sounds and see the sculptures and all these you know, hieroglyphics and all these things. It's needed, you know. All them stories that I have to tell the youth this time, if I even have 1 month, it's needed. So don't try to come go like you want to come direct the thing and bring some different things. So yeah, that's my view on the thing.
Yeah, I think it's really important. I mean, what I do know is that Black History Month in the UK has been around for ages. Like, I think it started in the UK about 30 years ago. So I don't understand how something that's been around for such a long time, you now want to get rid of it just like that. I'm trying to think to other celebrations and other things that happen for a long time. For example, Chinese New Year, that they have an annual celebration, I think in January. Would they just decide to get rid of that out of the blue because it's Chinese New Year? Like, you know, like what people are saying online, Black History Month is it's not inclusive. Chinese New Year, it's a celebration of a specific group of people. Just because you're highlighting a specific group of people at in a specific month, whether it be a specific year or whatever it is, it doesn't mean you're excluding everybody. It means you're just shining a light on these people for this time. When we have, for example, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, nobody doesn't uproar and say, oh, this is just for breast cancer. What about people with prostate cancer? They have their time. Or whether it's children in need. Each charity has their time to shine. Now, my issue is, why do you want to get rid of Black History Month just out of the blue like that? My issue is grouping it all together and calling it Diversity Month. Now, these buzzwords like diversity, or grouping ethnic minorities all together and calling us BAME, you know, black and minority ethnic, that's what they group us all together. So that would include black people, Asians, and any other minority ethnic group all in one. My issue with that is, usually when you have things like diversity or BM, we're excluded, or we would only have one representation of the whole black community.
True.
When our community is so diverse.
True.
Within that, you have African people, you have Caribbean people, you have South American people. it's so diverse. You have so many different religions, different cultures, different tribes, you can't just group us all as one.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like Black History Month is important, especially for the next generation coming up. They need to know and understand the contributions that Black people made, not only to life here in Britain, but around the world.
Yes, sir.
Basic things that impact on us daily, basic inventions that we use daily that has enhanced mankind's living. You know, that have things that have been created by our people. For example, the traffic lights, keeping us all safe crossing the road. Children need to know that Garrett Morgan invented that. He was a black man.
Yes, sir.
And look at this traffic light around the world, changing people's lives for the better. I feel like you can't just erase Black History Month like that. I feel like it's important and it's fundamental to our children's learning. Yes, we are parents and grandparents and responsible adults, and it's our job to educate our children about our history and our heritage and our culture and our roots. Yes, that's our job. But if we live in a place that is going to be teaching history and they want to cut a large part of it out and just only, I don't know, teach about the Anglo-Saxons and the Iron Age and the Bronze Age, or if that's all they want to talk about and teach, then it's not the truth. You know, that's the issue. So I feel like Black History Month should be here to stay. Black History Month is for everybody. You're celebrating black people, but that doesn't mean to say white people can't learn as well about us.
There we go.
That doesn't mean Chinese people can't learn, okay, a black man invented the traffic lights, or, you know, a black woman invented, I don't know, hair straighteners, or it doesn't mean that you can't learn about it. This idea of, oh, because it calls something, oh, it's racist. I find it really annoying.
Yeah, cause you see what I'm going on. You see, the thing is with this now, yeah. Whatever give INI a certain amount of credibility, or value, or worth, or strength, or even some kind of sense of belonging, or, you know what I mean? Them always try to strip it down piece by piece or discredit it or whatever it is, because them don't want you to feel no way at all.
But then when we look back at to why Black History Month was created in the first place, it was because we wasn't being included in mainstream history lessons and school lessons. We was being marginalised or completely erased out of the history books. So now that we've created Black History Month and it's become so popular that it's now part of, you know, the yearly calendar, you want to get rid of it. But that's the exact same reason why it was created in the first place. So I find it extremely troubling that there's all this talk of calling it Diversity Month. Listen, it's not Diversity Month, it's a Black History Month. It's specific. It's
African
specific.
History Month.
It's specific.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just find it like, I find it really strange that every time we create something, there's always, people are always trying to say, oh, that's racist. For example, with the Mobo Awards, I remember when the Mobo Awards started many years ago when I was young, and it was, Mobos stands for Music of Black Origin. And I remember when it started, people were like, well, you don't need a black only music awards ceremony, that's racist. What about all the white art, and what about all the white artists? And people were like, you have the Brit Awards, you have this, you have, like, you know, and the reason why Kanye King created the Mobos was because she felt black artists were not getting recognised by mainstream award shows.
Yes, sir.
So if they were, and it was a level playing field, there wouldn't be no need for these award shows. And it goes for the same with award shows like Black Girls Rock, which was created by Beverly Bond in the USA to acknowledge the contributions of black women and girls around the world, whether it be through music, film or art, or in their communities. Black women don't get a look in when you have these other award shows, no matter what it is. You don't get a look in. So there is a need. There is a need for us to have our own platforms, I think, and I think people don't cause this much uproar when it's other communities having celebrating their history, you know. I think we had Latin American History Month. I saw a lot of people talking about earlier this year. There was, you know, when it's International Women's Day, people really go, no, what about the men? No, we don't. When it's Mother's Day, I mean, people are starting to do it now when it's Mother's Day. Oh, what about big up my mum and she was my dad as well? Okay, Or, you know, when it's Father's Day, people still mention their mothers. But I feel like we're getting really petty when it comes to just celebrate what day it is and what thing it is. It doesn't mean that the rest of it doesn't matter. It just means at this moment we need to celebrate this specific issue.
It's a time and place for everything, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, time and place for everything. So
yeah,
just give unto the thing what is due unto the vibes and us, you know what I mean?
I just think there's not enough happening to celebrate black people, and especially when it comes to positive contributions that we've made. There's so much negative out there and stereotypes that when we do positive things, it's like it wants to be stripped away. Black History Month is here to stay. Whether they decide to take it away or not, I'm sure people will still carry on. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like it's so important, like I said, for the next generation to know about the amazing stuff that we've done. I mean, so for you, in Jamaica, they celebrate Black History Month in February, don't they?
February, yeah.
And I remember some African Americans were discussing this on Twitter, and they were like saying they wanted to move it from February. They said they gave them February because it's the shortest month of the year. I remember they were like cussing, like saying, "Oh, why is Black History Month in February for them?" And it's the shortest month of the year. But
wow.
Yeah, I just want to say happy Black History Month to all our listeners. So, I mean, there's so many to choose from, but who would be one of your favourite Black History icons?
One of my most favourite black icons out there, and it's like, yeah, I would say is Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I am the greatest.
Yeah, there we go. I am the greatest. You know what I mean? So yeah, Muhammad Ali, I think instill a great deal of confidence in I and I as a people.
Yeah.
Not only that as well, it also show you say it's you have to be brave and bold in front of the worst or the greatest adversary out there. You can be brave and bold and stand up on your grounds. Mm-hmm. When them tell the people them say you're not gonna war, that was one of the greatest moments in history for Iman. When them say you're not gonna no war, because these people never do I nothing. And you do I something. So why am I gonna go on your side and go on war against these people who I don't even know? That in itself was a great thing for Iman. So for that, I look him at as someone who, as a boxer or a person who chew around fancy words. Nah, but when the time come for him stand up,
he wasn't afraid to.
Up,
yeah. I think for me, I don't know. I've got so many, but I think for me it's probably like Bob Marley, and musically, yeah, you know, all the positive messages he spread through his music, but also like the idea of him bringing together the two Jamaican political parties when there was political unrest on the island, sort of like bringing peace to the island and uniting the politicians.
True.
I think that was something that he didn't have to do. And like you said, it's always something away from what their job is. Like you said, not Ali's boxing, but what he did outside of the ring. Is similar with Bob Marley, not what so much he did on stage, but what he did outside of it. That's not to dismiss his music. No, his music is great and changed my life. But also when I look at things he did, even his song Africa Unite, and going to, you know, when Zimbabwe gained independence and performing there and getting the people to feel proud, and
sure.
You know, that was really, really special. But I think there's so many Black History icons that, boy, we would need to do a whole probably series of I and I a reason to talk about each person. Do you know what I mean? But there's so many. There's some here in Britain as well. I want to big up Benjamin Zephaniah, who is a famous poet and author and Rastafarian as well, and I know he is really, really appreciated in the community as well. Yeah, that's Black History Month, man. We could be here all evening.
Yeah, my office show without Peter touch. I can't mention Black history and I history.
Yeah.
I know she thought a great touch, you know.
Peter
Salute.
Tosh, Stepping Razor.
Blazing.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
let us know who your favourite Black History icons are by, commenting on one of our social medias or email us at iniareason@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So moving on swiftly and quickly. I want to big up Style OG.
Yes, sir.
So he's gone back to his native Jamaica and he's been performing as well and doing some musical work. But I want to especially big him up for his charitable works that he's been doing with the Style OG Foundation. He's gone back to schools and has been giving out school materials to children, which I thought was, really, really amazing and great to see on his social media. Yeah. There's many other artists who also have foundations who have been doing charitable works on the island of Jamaica as well. That includes Chronix. He was giving out school resources to children as well. And Jack Yor. And Sizzler also has a foundation, Sizzler's Youth Foundation as well, that does great work in the community. Now, I wanted to ask you...
and Bugle also. Bugle go around and give food to the homeless and the...
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so I know there's loads of them that do charitable work. I wanted to ask you, how important is it for our reggae artists and dancehall artists to give back to those who are less fortunate? And do they have a duty to? And would we like them any less if they didn't?
I think it's vital for everyone, not only artists or producers or entertainers. I think it's vital for anyone at all who make it from zero to hero. Anyone who make it out of the ghetto or out of a rough situation and become, wealthy or have riches. I think it's always a vital move to go forward where you're coming from and give forward a strength. Because you know what it was like being there, looking out for someone to come and give forward and you didn't see anyone. So just be the change and be an example. And I salute every single artist or any single one who make it out of the ghetto and return and give us strength. It's me I say, whether it's hospital like Shaggy did, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Shaggy does a concert every year, doesn't he?
Yeah. Or giving things to the hospital like Bounty Killer did, the beds and everything there, and helping to paint up the community and all everything there. Or keeping treats like Mobos and popcorn and them did. Or Jackie giving school bags and books and pencils to the youth them, anything at all, even Bogo feeding the homeless and those who have not. You see me I say, salute to every single one who give forward, because that's showing say you have a heart. That's all the showing say you have a heart, because you remember what it was like to be there and you're not there no more. So you're not going to just throw a stone behind and move on like you don't remember. You have to go forward and give us strength, and the most I see everything and then give thanks, and those who give back always receive more.
Yeah.
Yeah, give thanks.
I mean, I think it's important, especially because a lot of these artists are considered role models to the children in the ghetto. And I think it's inspirational, when they do go back, for children to see that, okay, they didn't make it and just forget about us. And even them, driving through their neighborhood or coming out to see them, I think that can inspire those children to say, oh wow, I remember when he came, I want to be like that one day. I want to come back. I want to be successful in my field and come back and give back to the children after me. So I feel like it's really important, and I feel like especially with Jamaican, not even just Jamaican, but with reggae artists and dancehall artists, I feel like when they do great things, it's often sidelined. Yeah, we're always looking for who's beefing who, or who not us personally, but the media is always looking for who's clashing who's beefing who's been arrested. And I feel like there needs to be a change. There needs to be a power shift. We need to focus our energy on all these great things that these artists are doing, whether it's them giving back, whether it's them, like you said, feeding the homeless, or helping out with hospitals, or paying school tuitions and stuff like that. So I want to shout out and personally big up every single artist out there. If you haven't been mentioned, please don't take it personally. But if you are doing charitable work, it's appreciated.
Big up yourself anyway. Anyone at all will do it,
Yeah.
Straight up. No matter how small and no matter how big, we do give thanks.
Yeah. And I mean, on that note as well, I know every episode, we're supposed to have a salute of the episode. Like to big up somebody. So the salute of the episode this week is going to all the artists doing charitable works. And also it's going out to Marcia Carty. Now we mentioned this I think on the previous episode. She was the Rastafarian empress who was taking up a court case with her employers about wearing a red, gold and green headscarf to work. She was a bus driver. I'm pleased to now say that she has won her case, and she has now Rastafari. She has now returned to work, and she's allowed to wear her Rastafarian red, gold and green headscarf. So big up yourself, Marcia Carty. You're our salute of the episode also. And we're so glad that you resolved your issue that you had with your bus company. Right, so on to reggae news now. I want to say reggae. We need a little jingle for that, Asha. You better get to work.
That's it. Reggae.
So, in reggae news, so much is going on. Let me just pull up all the info. So, I know we was doing the countdown clock for Buju Banton. And it's been announced now that he has 2 months to go. So, that's 60 days. His PR team and everybody behind him have put up their posters and stuff on social media saying Buju returns, 60 days to go, 2 months to go. So we know he's coming out on your Earth Strong, which is what, Asha?
The 8th of December 2018, is it?
Yeah, so everybody eagerly anticipates the return of Buju Banton. I wonder what kind of music he's gonna, not what kind of music, I know he's gonna do reggae or dancehall, but you know, like it's just like, you know, there might be like an extra fire in his belly. Like, do you think he might come out and do like the best album he's ever made, or that's too much pressure, isn't it? Alright,
no, this is where I'm on say when time I pray the vibes.
Yeah. Alright, tell us what you see.
Imagine, yeah, it's like when him step out, I feel like the first set of music I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be a bunch of emotional tracks. Because it's gonna be emotional.
Yeah.
Coming forward and seeing them youths them again, knowing saying they're outside, them can travel, them can, you know what I mean? Eat where you want to eat, drink where you want to drink, see where you want to see, go where you want to go. So it's like I'm gonna feel a sense of free liberation and, you know what I mean? Being out and thing, and all the overwhelming love of everyone to say why them happy to see man thing. It might be emotional.
Yeah.
But if you give him like a few months or even a year or so, when him settle in now and foot up on the ground firmly, and them start sittings from like the way how, you know, the warrior Gargamel, you know what I mean, Mark Myrie step forward and see the thing, not emotional no more, but from a more spiritual, logical, practical point of view, where him say, boy, this is going and this is the answer. And then I think probably the second album or second, whatever I'm released second, that'll be the best. That's my view on the vibes.
It's really exciting. I can feel like the excitement building, man. I'm like, oh, you know, just to see, I hope that there's some live footage of him coming out, and you know, we get to hear his first speech. I hope it's not a case of, you know, he's rushed out with maybe a blanket over him and we don't see him, and then we don't hear from him for like 2 months when he's recuperated. But then I suppose it's up to him what he wants to do, because he's been away for so long. He might want to get his strength back, compose himself, reunite with his family, and then put a statement out, which is fair enough. But Buju, whatever you decide to do, I and I Are Reason podcast will be here eagerly watching and wishing you well.
All the best, Ja. All the best.
Yeah. Also, quick one. Those of you who have not got your tickets for Chronics and Protege on the 11th of November, where y'all wait, pan?
Swiftly.
Where y'all wait, pan? Last time I checked, I think it was over the weekend, and I was with my mum and my sister. We was checking. We've got our tickets. I and I Are Reason podcast. We'll be there. We'll be there to review the concert. Yeah, we got our tickets. Big up Chronics and Protege. Yeah, anyway, what was I saying? I'm getting confused now, all the excitement.
How much tickets is left?
Yeah, I was with my mum and my sister over the weekend, and last time I went and checked, it said something like 50 tickets remaining. So like I said, if you ain't got your tickets, boy, you better hurry. You better hurry. It's gonna be a good show. So yeah, that's Protege. That's Chronics with Protege at Alexandra Palace on the 11th of November. Please get your tickets. Don't miss it. It's gonna be a great show. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Sorry. All right, moving on. Moving on. Yeah. Big announcement for Romain Virgo. He got engaged to his long-term girlfriend. Congratulations to Romain Virgo. And
well done, sir.
Yeah, and his soon-to-be missus, man. We wish you well. Can't wait to see images of the wedding and everything. So that's some nice good news. I like Romain Virgo, man.
Yeah, man. King and queen thing, you know? That's like them I like.
Yeah. So moving on as well. We've had some sad news over the weekend. Trinidadian reggae singer Million Voice sadly passed away after a battle with cancer. Now he was 41. His name was Kevin Young, and he was also known as Million Voice, and he passed away on Friday morning after a battle with cancer. And it's been really, really sad. People have been expressing their condolences online. He had a huge following in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean, and will be sadly missed. I do understand that in 2017 was when he was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer, and they did try to have a fundraising event for him to raise money to help pay for his medical treatment, but he sadly lost his battle with cancer on Friday. So yeah, deepest condolences to the family, fans and friends of Million Voice, who sadly passed away. And also I think you was going to mention that woman in Jamaica as well, who sadly passed away as well.
Yeah. So,
her name is Elva Ruddock, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's a media personality.
So
Elva Ruddock was a popular media personality in Jamaica, also known as the Queen of Comedy for Jamaica, according to Miss Kitty, who's also a media personality. And she was suffering from autoimmune disease, lupus, and she, from reports, she kept it pretty quiet. She didn't want anybody to sort of worry about her, but she wanted them to remember her as she was, and as she was well known for her beautiful, lovely smile, her uplifting spirit, and she was always full of energy. I understand, you know, you've got memories of her growing up in Jamaica.
Yeah, man, growing up in Jamaica as a youth, you know, I always remember seeing her on the TV, hearing her voice, and her voice is always bubbly and joyful and jovial, and she always have a bright smile upon her face, as they say, you know what I mean? So seeing her even visiting Jamaica recently and watching the adverts for the shopping centre and all these things. She now in the store doing her thing, and she's always funny, always make her laugh, you know, and I'm sure she's gonna be greatly missed. Sure after that, I get me and say. Yeah, but I will remember her for her bright smile and her joyful vibes. You know? Yeah, condolences to the family, you know. Yeah,
condolences to the family and friends and colleagues and the fans of Elva Ruddock, who was a popular media personality in Jamaica, who sadly passed away on Sunday after battling lupus. Okay, so moving on. I mean, on to other news in Jamaica. Rebel Salute. They've announced their dates for 2019. So the dates that we have are January the 18th and 19th, 2019. So those will be the dates for Rebel Salute 2019. They haven't announced the lineup yet, but you can book early bird tickets. Sure. So if you want to go in blind and just book tickets for Rebel Salute, but you're not sure who's going to be performing, I'm sure it's going to be a great show. From what I've seen over the years, I mean, I was lucky enough to be there last year, and I tell you, I wish I went on the... What day did I go?
Friday.
Did I go?
No, we went on the Saturday.
Went on the Saturday, yeah. So, I me and Asha went on the Saturday, and... yeah, I wish I went on a Friday as well, because I tell you, there's something about Rebel Salute. It's not just a concert. It's like I felt it was like a spiritual event. Because you look around and all you're seeing is red, gold and green, Ike's gold and green. All you're seeing is people in their cultural clothes, and you're seeing Pierre Rasta and you're seeing Pierre locks and Afro. Everyone's like really proud of who they are. And I understand there's no alcohol available on site. There's no meat. So it's, you know, Tony Rebel and his organisers have made it authentically Rasta as possible. But I'm telling you, I loved it. We was there for what, 16 hours? 16 hours, and I think we saw about 20 artists. And every time an artist came on, you didn't feel tired. Listen, it was pouring with rain. I did not care. And the rain stopped and the sun come out in the morning.
Mystical.
Oh my, and then all you're seeing is the hills, the green hills of St. Anne. It was beautiful.
And the fresh air.
And oh my gosh, it was like an experience like no other. I mean, if anybody gets the chance to go, I would encourage you to go to Rebel Salute. Seriously, it's a must. If you're in Jamaica around that time, please do go. It's a must. So yeah, that's Rebel Salute. Hopefully maybe Buju might be on that date. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, because he's going to be released in December, and then the show is the 18th and the 19th. That would give him a month and a bit to prepare. Is that long enough? Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know if it will be
might be pushing it.
I don't know if it will be his best shape, but
yeah.
I'm sure the energy of being out and being on stage and holding a mic.
Yeah. Or he could just do one song, like do one of his collabs, like for example with Morgan Heritage or Beres. He could come out and just do his little one verse and jump up and then run off.
Sure.
But I don't know. I'm putting too much pressure.
So going on.
Yeah. So people, if you're interested in that, that's Rebel Salute 2019 happening on the 18th and 19th next year. You can get early bird tickets now, but as I mentioned, no lineup has been announced. Now quickly, Usher, before we go, Nappily Ever After.
Nappily Ever After.
So Nappily Ever After is a film that we watched on Netflix. It's available on Netflix now. It came out I think on the 21st of September and stars Sana Lathan and Lynn Whitfield. And it's basically a story about a black woman who's supposedly got it all, got a good job, got a good fiance, and she takes us through this journey of her hair. Hence why it's called Nappily Ever After. Now, I mean, I enjoyed the film.
Nice film.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought there was loads of messages in there that resonated with me as a black woman. Not really so much me as a Rasta woman, because I've always had locks. I haven't had the issues of obviously perming your hair, regrowth and stuff like that. But I felt the story was moving, and it was something that I could relate to from stories that I've heard from friends and family members. And I feel like it's a story that needs to be told. It needs to be told.
It is.
You know?
Yeah, it is. And watching the movie as a man, as a brother, is like, I really feel it for the sister them stuck. I might say, John, there's so much things the other man for go through just for
keep your hair.
Yeah, and just for even get attention from a man, or if you feel like say, boy, you're beautiful or you're worthy. And it's like, from my perspective, I don't think the other need to go through so much. I think it's unnecessary. And I don't think it make you look any better than you actually are, but it just in your head. If you feel so, or you've been told that way by someone, but I'm not saying go. I think most man out there who is really man themselves, you understand, we really prefer you natural the way you are. You understand? Because that's how you go. From your clean and you smell nice and you present yourself the right way. You know what I mean? You don't need to a plaster up and put on different ear and Brazilian and Indian ear and all them things. There's some joke things. Just get the ear done the natural way as the Haitians. You know what I mean? You don't know INI full of style. You see it? Come forward and yeah man, the item will be love for who the item is. You see me I say, because the item worthwhile and worthy.
But I like in the film, like I see what you're saying about that, but you see in the film, you notice when she had natural hair now, she was getting ignored in the office.
Yeah, there you go.
Or she was getting bumped into by the guys walking past her. They weren't really taking notice of her. Whereas when she came and she had her hair, she would call her mum at 4 a.m. to come and straighten her hair before her before her fiance woke back up, lied back down in the bed.
Yeah, some joke life.
Like, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you have to go through all of that. You have to have a scarf on, or
Can't get in the ordinary rain.
yeah, you can't. Yeah, when she was in the rain, oh my gosh,
Can't go to the pool.
she can't go swimming. All these things, like.
It was nice to see her liberate herself and jump in the pool.
Yeah.
And said, well, yo, enough is enough, yeah, man.
Yeah, and I found it touching when those two old African American women phone a beep off. When the two African old ladies, when they said, oh, they haven't been in a swimming pool for 50 years, and then they jumped in the swimming pool with their permed hair, and then when they came up, it was afro. I did like that bit. But I feel like the film was needed. You know, it's light-hearted.
Black girls should watch this film. All black girls should watch this film, no matter what age. For me, a black woman, if you watch a film.
Yeah. It was. Straight. I enjoyed it. So well done, Sana Lathan and Lynn Whitfield, and the rest of the cast. The cast was good as well.
Yes, I.
Yeah. So that was Nappily Ever After. If you haven't seen it, it's available on Netflix now for you to watch, and I think it's a 15. Yeah, so it might not be suitable for children, but I think it's a 15. So I think there's like a few adult themes because it's about a relationship, but it's a good watch.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so Asha, you got anything else to add?
Well, you know,
you didn't really burn no fire this episode.
Yeah, because this episode is like a different, since a Black History episode.
Yeah.
It come with a more Thanksgiving and a more, you know, highlighting the great ones and the great works.
True.
Rather than burning in the fire still certain way.
Yeah.
But for all the ones that we want to change Black History, fire burn, man.
There we go.
Yes, me I say fire burn. You can't change the Black History.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, guys. And kings and queens and empresses and princesses and princes listening, thank you for listening to episode 9 of I and I A Reason. That was episode 9. Climb we are climb.
Up there.
Yes, a big shout to your listening ears. Also a big shout to Colourful Radio for picking up our podcast, which will be available on their website soon. All the details will be on our social media. Again, if you want to get in touch with us or have any topic suggestions, feel free to drop us a line at iniareason@gmail.com or message us on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram, or just use our hashtag @INIPodcast. So until next week, I'm Sinai Flary. He's Asha to the heights.
Breeze.
And together we make I and I A Reason. Give thanks. Have a blessed week. Remember, be good, spread love, and progress is a must. One aim, one love, and one destiny. Rastafari. I. Thanks for life. I and I A Reason podcast episode 9.
Yes, my people. Don't give thanks.